Hello, everybody, and welcome to something a little different. I recently picked up from the bundle of holding the Mekton Zeta bundle of holding. I bought the bigger one. Money goes to charity. It's great. If you've never been to the bundle of holding, if you're familiar with the Humble Bundle, it's exactly like that, but for RPG products. Have lots of great stuff. You can get lots of awesome RPG products for a great price. It goes to the creators. It goes to charity. It's an awesome deal. So recently, the is it R. Talsorian or R.A. Talsorian? I think it's R. Talsorian. So recently, the R. Talsorian Mekton Zeta, which is their 3rd edition Mekton RPG, went up on there. You get a bunch of awesome stuff. You get Mekton Zeta, the core rulebook, the tactical screen, which is their GM screen or referee screen, which comes with a booklet that has additional rules in it. You get Mekton Zeta Plus, which is like their advanced construction rules. You get a bunch of campaign settings, and then you get a couple books that have never been in PDF before, which is pretty cool. I haven't had a chance to look through all of them. There's like, what did I just list? Like 8 to 10 books or something like that. I've mostly just looked through the Mekton Zeta core rulebook, and it's pretty neat. So Mekton Zeta is an RPG that's heavily inspired by anime, specifically mecha anime. So my biggest love of mecha anime is Mobile Suit Gundam, specifically even original Mobile Suit Gundam. It's the one I've watched the most. I also watched Gundam G Fighter or G Fighter Gundam, which I remember being absolutely ridiculous. It's been a while since I watched it. I watched it on Toonami when I was younger. It's like a tournament, and every country has their own representative, and every country's Gundam is like super stereotypical. Like the Royal Gundam from Britain has, you know, the tall royal guard hat and like some big red outfit. I'm pretty sure Canada was like a lumberjack or a bear. There was like a Chinese dragon. It was weird. It was weird. Is this? Poop. That's not right. This is the one I want. Yeah. Okay. So, anyway, so Mekton Zeta is a game that lets you play Macross, Gundam, Armored Troopers, Votoms, or whatever that one's called, Robotech. And it very much emphasizes the anime-ness of it. Like, there's not really classes, they're more like tropes. And, look, this game is over 20 years old, and some of the way it's presented would not fly today. I don't want to say it's full-on problematic, but there's a lot of like unnecessary, just even the way it's phrased, some of this stuff. There's like jokey bits in there that just wouldn't be necessary today. It adds character, I think, and I don't know, it's not bad by any means, but like let's see, what is the, when you create characters, where the heck are they? So the characters: anime hero, the girlfriend or boyfriend, and granted it says boyfriend in there, but it's clearly talking about girlfriend, anime babe, anime stud. I just feel like those would probably not be gendered specifically in 2019. And granted, the book doesn't say you can't be a male anime babe, because first of all, that's a thing in anime probably. But you know, I think they would be. I had a generic name for them. in my head the other day. But, like, anime stud would probably be anime badass. Anime babe would be hot stuff. I can't remember. I had a good generic one. I can't even remember what it is. But anyway. So for this, I kind of want to... I don't know if I'll ever run this system. It's like I said, it's over 20 years old. Parts of it feel dated. Parts of it are crunchier than we normally get into. It is, well, it's kind of along the Call of Cthulhu lines, and that's the crunchiest game we probably play. Although parts of Stars Without Number are also crunchy. Mainly the mech creation is crunchy, and I've read a lot of people online who just say, you just don't let players create mechs. The GM creates all the mechs, which granted, it's a lot of work for me, but if, you know, if I ever need content, I'll just start creating mechs. So anyway, I've been thinking about it on and off. I've been reading the rules. Some of the character creation, like for your pilot rules, are pretty cool. There's some weirdness. There's some dated. Some of it's not as streamlined as it would be in 2019. Again, the book's from like 94, 96 or something like that. It's over 20 years old. So I want to talk about kind of what some of my inspirations would be, kind of some of the basic ideas I have. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is super thought out. It's just kind of whenever I have an idea walking around or at work, I open up my phone, my Google Doc, and I type into it. So the very basic thing I have so far is here. The full name of the RPG, let me see if I can, oops. Oh, I just closed it. I didn't mean to do that. I have the PDF, so I can't show you physical books. Let me show you the cover, though. And the art in this is pretty cool. It's very anime-esque. But you can see, and Mekton Zeta is cool because Zeta, named after Gundam Zeta, the sequel series to Mobile Suit Gundam. Let's see. So the Japanese characters on here, I believe katakana, fully reads Super Dimension Mobile Warrior Mekton Z. Or Mekton. So I think that's a good full Japanese name for it. I haven't gotten to the full weapons description yet, but I was trying to think of, you know, laser katana. I'm not trying to fully rip off anything. Like I said, Mobile Suit Gundam would be my biggest inspiration for this, but I have an idea later for something you can kind of see it on there. I want to talk about. Let me make this a little bigger. There's probably a better way to do that, but whatever. There's a better way to do that. Let's reset. There we go. Okay. So I did think the bad guy faction, or the not even bad guy, it's Gundam. Both sides have valid points of view in a way. Both sides are also terrible. The Archduchy of Astra, and then the asteroid bases, which in Gundam are called sides, could be called Astras. And it's an archduchy led by a princess, because the Principality of Zeon is led by an archduke. So that's a dumb Gundam joke. And then Earth, the United Earth or something like that. Earth Coalition Forces, Earth Alliance, something generic Earth-y. But I do think I would want it to be Earth versus Spacers, because I think that's an interesting dichotomy. Why should... it's very much the revolution, the American Revolution. It's why should we be ruled by a person who has never been to where we live? Well, you don't know what spacer problems are. Just enemy warsuit to make it look skeletal. I thought that sounded neat. So this is why I was wearing this earlier. Because I like Mobile Suit Gundam specifically, I of course like Char. And I saw this at the craft store the other day, and I thought it was funny and looked like Char's. So I'd paint it before we did anything. And I'd have to figure out a way where I could see. Hello? Something's happening. And I will have to take this off because I can't see. But so I was thinking the enemy should have a masked ace. So I was looking up World War II, or not World War II, World War I and II and beyond flying ace nicknames. And there are some really interesting ones, and some of them are very dumb. I saw one was Sexy Rexy. That was funny. Someone was just nicknamed Bob. Their name was Robert. It's not very interesting. Lots of they're part of their last name, but with a Y on the end. Jonesy, Johnny, that kind of stuff. So, I was trying to think of what Char in Mobile Suit Gundam is the Red Comet. So what could our masked ace be called? Masked ace, kind of tuxedo mask style. Silver ace, gray wolf, that kind of, that evokes the Red Comet or the Red Baron, Black Devil. Blood Knight, ace, wolf, shark. The Blood Baron, kind of Red Baron. Crimson Baron, straight up Red Baron. Cobra, you do something Cobra. And I thought this one might be cool because I found a Japanese pilot from World War II who was the demon of something, and I thought that was very, very anime, very interesting. Another idea I had, in sort of a Robotech style. One of the sequel series, or in a Final Fantasy style, one of the sequel series was not originally a Mekton cartoon in Japan. It was something totally unrelated that they shoehorn into the meta plot. And I thought, randomly, when I was reading through the rules and I saw there were rules for animal mechs, I immediately... my brain should have been drawn to Beast Wars because I loved Beast Wars. It's my favorite Transformers. Loved Beast Wars. But I immediately thought of Zoids, which I don't know if anybody remembers Zoids. It was also on Toonami. But the one I liked, and I know there are like 8 billion series, and I tried to figure out which one was the one I liked, and I think it's called Century Zero or something like that. It was, they're animal mechs with big guns on the back. The main good guys are like some kind of lion tiger called a liger, a fox with a giant gun on its back, and then a bison with just a billion anime missiles. And it's like a tournament where they fight other animal robots, and they're piloting the mecha. And I really liked that one as a kid. Me and my brother had a couple of Zoid toys. I think they were even like little models, like not quite like Gunpla, but like where you had to put them together and you could take off the weapons and change them. I wonder if my parents still have those, because I've been reading so much about this. We never had Gunpla because I'm not very good at building models. I'm okay at painting, but I'm not very good at building. I don't have a steady enough hand or enough patience. But we used to have Gundam action figures, and I kind of wonder if I still have them somewhere. I'd love to get them and put them on my shelf. I'm sure all their beam sabers and weapons are lost, and I got Gundam from shows we never saw. They were either not aired when we were kids, or because there's so many of them, never translated. I wonder. My parents still have a lot of my old toys. I wonder if they have them. Anyway, so I thought a series based on Zoids, and in Japan it was called Animal Kingdom Battle Champion or something, and renamed Animekton for the US release, and there's oblique references made to the Earth Alliance or something like that, and some of the bad guys maybe are like, oh no, they're from the Neo Astra or whatever. And of course I would want a theme song in Japanese. Not that I'm gonna translate it. or sing it, but theme song in Japanese playing in the, everyone imagine playing in the background, and then a slightly off translation, for which I have Go Mekton Go, an invincible steel man burning across the sky. In your metal hands, we feel small and safe. Go Mekton Go. And there would be more words. And then some metallic techno noise. Episode 1. Go Mekton Go. So I thought of a couple different show ideas, ostensibly. One, a show about Astra, the Principality of Xeon. That's one of the best parts about Gundam, especially Mobile Suit Gundam. Again, I'm not super familiar with anything outside of that, is the bad guy faction is perfectly reasonable for parts of it. Just as the good guy faction is perfectly unreasonable for parts of it. You can see the bureaucracy of the Earth Federation just weighing down on these poor, innocent people who, they take the white base, they get it to safety, and they immediately lock up the crew because they technically stole it to rescue all these people. And, they stole the Gundam, again, for Amuro to rescue all these people. And you can see why, Side 3, I think Side 3 becomes Xeon, doesn't want to be ruled by these knobs. So I thought, alternatively, you have a show about them. You have a show about the quote-unquote bad guys. And then, they have kind of grunt mobile suits. Because, Zaku's are cool. I know there are a couple of video games where you pilot as Xeon Zaku's. And I don't know if you have to ever fight Gundams. But, you have 3 or 4 of your generic mech suits, and then maybe you have to fight like tanks or spaceships or whatever, and then all of a sudden this blazing white mobile suit shows up, and you're like, the hell is that thing? And your guns don't do anything. It's got a beam rifle and it's just blowing people's heads off. I also thought of a combination of those where secretly you tell 3 players, build for the enemy faction. The quote-unquote enemy faction. I'm going to just keep using that because it's easy. Build for the Archduchy. And then you tell the other person, you don't tell them that the 4th player isn't on their side, but you tell the 4th person, now you're piloting Gundam and you have to fight a wave of people. And you let them build some ridiculous over-the-top suit, and you give the other people kind of generic grunt suits. And you see what happens. Oh, and then obviously the sequel series, Man of Mekton, which has nothing to do with this in reality. There we go. Okay. So, I wanted to at least showcase quickly, we're about 20 minutes in, I'll go a little longer. I wanted to talk, so that's kind of just basic ideas I have. This is sort of how I start to plan campaigns or shows. I just write down all my ideas. They may not all make it. Some of them are contradictory, even. But I like to just write down every thought. Because, first of all, I'm a big proponent of first thought, best thought. Just go with it. Because your second thought you can use some other time. You can use it somewhere else. I think it was the WebDM guys who essentially said, like, don't hold on to your ideas. You'll always have another. Like, if you think that... I just realized that was, like, blocking. It still is. There we go. You know, if you have an idea, you just don't let it... It's cool to save ideas, but you don't have to. If you're like, oh, this will be rad in 10 levels, well, can you use it now? You'll come up with something else rad for 10 levels from now. Which I have definitely started to really adopt. And part of it is because I'm impatient. But, do you have a cool idea? Just use it. Let your players see your cool ideas. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to showcase my basic intro. We're not even close to a session 0. I don't know if I would play this at home after we're finished Storm King's Thunder for a couple sessions. I know some of my home players are big Robotech fans. So I'm sure they could create, anime sad boys and girls to pilot mecha and the horrors of war. And it would actually be kind of interesting to see the dichotomy, or to see the kind of, not necessarily clash, but to see where the Robotech kind of arcs go with someone who is mostly familiar with Gundam. Because I'm sure they're very similar. I've seen a little Robotech. It's not that dissimilar from Gundam. They're both real robot, I think is technically what it's called, which they're giant robots that shoot lasers. So how real is it? But it's not superhero robot, which I think is the other one, which is like Shogun Warrior or Voltron. Which also you could do in this system. You could build a Voltron. And I think it really gets into that in Mekton Zeta Plus, which is one of the supplements. There's also simplified rules called Mekton the Movie, which I skimmed, but I didn't understand because I had not fully read the rules yet. But what I am going to do right now is I'm going to do I'm going to create a character. Because the best way to learn about a system is to create a character. And I'm going to create our masked ace. That looks terrible with my glasses on. Can I put my glasses over them? There. Okay. You people are missing out if you're not watching this. Okay. So we first generate the coolest thing in the system, and something that's in this, and I know it's in Cyberpunk 2020. I don't know if it's in Cyberpunk Red that just came out. I don't think the full rules are out for that yet, and I don't know if it's in like Teenagers from Outer Space, which is the big other art Halsorian game. So the first thing is Life Path, where there is this series of tables that you roll randomly on, and it tells you all about your background. You can also pick them, but I'm going to roll. So let me get a D10. Here's my D10. My very spacey Kraken Wraith die D10. So I'm going to create an NPC using Life Path. I was dumb. I'm going to create our masked ace. So the first one is social status. Okay, let me see. Hold on, let me look at this real fast. For Life Path. Oh, see sheet 2. Perfect. Here we go. 6. Worker middle class. Okay. Funds. 600 credits, but they use a little yen symbol. Okay, go to A2, family situation. 4, something has happened to one or more of your parents. Go to A3. Okay. Let's see. Something happened to one or more parents. Personal fate, 10. You grew up on the streets. Or, sorry, parental fate. You grew up on the streets. Streets. Go to B. 4. Family status is good. Even if parents are dead. That's interesting. I threw up on the streets. Man, I can't type right now. I grew up on the streets, but my family status is good. Interesting. And then I go to E. Siblings. 2. You may have up to 7 brothers or sisters. Roll 1d10. 1 to 7 indicates the number of siblings you have. So I have 2. And then 8 to 10 is you're an only child. And then you randomly determine gender. So I have a brother and sister. Okay, and then they are both older than me. Okay, and feelings about you. Okay. Brother hates me. My sister likes me. Not love. Okay, so the options are dislike, like, neutral. Man, I have a brother. I don't feel neutral about him. Like, I don't know how you feel neutral about a sibling. And I dropped a die earlier, and it's going to drive me crazy if I don't find it. Where's my phone? Seriously? Gone forever. Okay. Gone forever. Maybe I didn't drop it. Okay. Let's see. Go to F. Friends. Most of your friends are from your school days, but some can be more than just simple students. Roll 1d6. I didn't know I needed a d6 for this. I'm gonna... 1. This is... I have one friend. Okay. For each friend, they are a girl, and so female friend is someone I grew up with on the streets, I guess. Okay, go to G, enemies. Okay. Oh, wait, let me see. Well, unlikely, it is possible you have already made a lifelong enemy from your early years. Roll 1d10. On a 10, oh, I got close. You have made an enemy. Roll below to determine the nature of your enemy. Okay, so there's a bunch of cool stuff there, but I got a 9. So I did not make an enemy for life, yes. Romantic life. Let's see. 5. In your first 16 years, you have had a few loves come and go, various crushes, dates, and the like. The following charts are for a truly serious romance, something will carry with you for the years to come. I got a 5, which means I am uninvolved. H2. Ooh. Okay. Uninvolved. And then H2 is on the prowl. Again, a little dated, probably. It's not, whatever. I just don't tend to think about this stuff. But it's in anime, usually. People have love interests. Well, that's in TV shows in general. Let's see, 5. Oh, that's actually perfect for the character I was thinking of. You don't have time to waste on romance. And let's go to I. Okay. Some of these you can choose on the table, and I would probably let my players choose all of them. But, 10. Hair color, brown. For each column. 6 is short and straight. Picturing kind of military-esque. Or my haircut. Although, not so brown anymore, as you can see. That's correct. 6. And eye color is brown-black. That's brown. Personality traits. Okay. 5. Friendly and outgoing. Kind of like that for this masked ace we're doing. Thing you value most. 2. Honor. Perfect. Man, working out. Most valued possession. 7. A musical instrument. Interesting. And person I value most, myself. Also interesting. / perfect. I think that works out well. Okay. So, I'm going to say both my parents are dead. I grew up on the streets. My family was of some renown before my parents died. But something happened on the streets where my brother now hates me. My sister still likes me. My friend, someone I grew up with, is still close to me. Maybe her and my sister are the only ones who get me or something. I don't have time for romance. My hair is brown, short. My eyes are brown. I'm friendly and outgoing. But the thing I value most is honor. My most valued possession is a musical instrument. And the person I value most is myself. Did I should change this to myself. And I don't have time for romance. I grew up on the streets. Okay. So, the next thing to do is to determine my stat lines. Let me get an overview. Go over here. So, stats are between 2 and 10. And you have, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stats? I thought there were 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, body type. I missed one. 10. Okay. So, education is like a substat, it says. So, it's built with stat points, but it works more like a skill. So that's kind of like Call of Cthulhu. A lot of this reminds me a bit of Call of Cthulhu plus Vampire. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But So, because this is an NPC, stat generation, and I want it to be the main bad guy, I think I'm going to use the cinematic character rules and build them with 80 points. That's major characters, heavy hitters. This is either the main bad guy or a very heroic character. This should be reserved for NPCs. So I'm going to build the cool dude I want to build in my head. So normally you can do this a couple different ways. You can build them randomly where you roll 1d10. That's your intelligence. 1d10. That's your cool. 1d10. That's your reflexes. And you reroll ones. Your lowest possible stat is a 2. And then if your total is below 40, you can reroll them. The other one is you roll 10d10. That gives you a total pool to spend, and you buy your stats. You have to buy a minimum of 2, but after that you can buy as much as you want. And I'm pretty sure, I had a little hard time figuring this out, but I'm pretty sure you still have to buy them up to 2. But your average roll is going to be like 60. So that's not too bad. You get 2 in everything. That's 20 points, and then you can build from there. 6 is average. That's not too bad. You'll be okay at some things, and you can be great at others. And as above, or as I mentioned before, if you have less than 40, you just reroll. And it says that this is what it recommends. This is the standard method of player creation. That's what I'm always. I use point buy in Dungeons and Dragons. I'm always surprised to learn that I am in the minority for that. Most people use random dice. And then the other thing is it suggests, or it says you can do cinematic characters. This method is best used for NPCs and pre-generated PCs. Be assigned a pool. Like I said, 80 points for major characters, 75 for minor, 70 for main PCs it recommends. And then secondary is 65, average Joe is 60, basic NPC, a low grunt, is 55. So I might, which is weird because like I'm pretty sure the average dice roll of, yeah, it's going to be lower than what it says for primary characters. So, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to spend 80 points. Let me open up my calculator. 80 minus. My guy is cool. 9. 80 minus 9. Let's see. Mecha piloting goes off of reflexes, so I'm going to make that a 9 as well. Okay, attractiveness. Let's say he's very handsome. 8. Yeah, this is how you can tell it's another old school RPG. Appearance or attractiveness is a stat. So empathy and cool are interesting. Cool is charisma. But empathy can also be used for a lot of the same skills or the same effects, but you just approach it differently. So you can have leadership cool. Everybody follows you because you're just the raddest. Or leadership empathy. Your soldiers follow you because they like you. I think it's neat. It's interesting. Intelligence, let's say 8. I can take it like an 8 in pretty much everything, right? Empathy, I'd say he's not the most empathetic of dudes. And he only cares about himself after all. Tech ability, I'll say 8. luck. I got 3 more stats, and I got 32 points left. So that means, oh jeez. Okay, I'm gonna be able to, gonna be good to go. So let's see. Luck. I'm gonna go full 10 in luck. Move allowance. 6 is average. Let's go with 7. -7. Oops, not -74. Oh, I got a lot of points left. So let's see. And education, which will determine some skills. Let's see. 8. I got 7 points left over. Do I just want to leave it at that? Minor characters, good villains. A villain's top henchman. No, I want him to be the main bad guy. Okay. Let's increase that to 10. That to 10. It's -2. That to 9. That to 9. That to 9. That's -3. 2 more. 8. And 8. Oh, nope. I did my... Oh. I've been doing this like a dope. Rope-a-dope. So let's bring this back to 7. I'm still too high. Let's bring empathy to 6. I think that's a good kind of character flaw. It auto-calculates some of the weirder things like stability, which is cool times 2.5. Rounded down. Okay. Movement allowance is also a bunch of math formulas, and there's jumping and leaping, so glad that's all figured out. I don't remember what stun is calculated by. Oh, stun. You need to roll this number or less on a 1d10 whenever the rules call for a stun roll. Is that... Oh, crap. My body type's terrible. Okay. I thought I was getting away with it. Okay, let's see. Oh, and luck points you can... Or spend. You can spend luck points. Okay. Body type is... like how big you are, how strong you are. It's strength. So let's... If I can get that to 7, I'm 5 points over. So let's bring attractiveness back down to 7. He's wearing a mask after all. I mean, it's a handsome mask, but maybe under the mask he's very plain looking. Tech ability 7. Luck 8. He relies more on skill than luck. Okay, there we go. Let's just call him the masked ace for now. Okay. Stuns, that's better. 6 is better. Lift 60 kilograms, throw 20 meters. Not adding any melee damage. There are rules somewhere for psi points. I don't know how I would do. Okay. There is that. Determining statistics. I did that. Okay. each character, and then we get up to skills. So each character begins with a number of starting skill points equal to the sum of their intelligence and education plus 10. So 18 plus 10 is 28. And then there are a crap ton of skills. Master skill list. Look at that. That bar is the master skill list. So, whew, some of them are weird. But some of them are cool. Like composer, right? If you want to be able to be a creative writer or a songwriter, you take composer, right? Which I think is neat. Although weirdly enough, it's based on intelligence, which I kind of get, but I also wish it could be cool. But I guess that would be, if it's not good, you have to have cool to perform it well. And that doesn't mean it's good, though. But yeah, some of these, like, there's like, I swear there was like, yeah, resist torture or drugs. That's a skill you can get. Okay, and some of them are hard, but personal grooming or wardrobe and style are attractiveness skills, which I do like that. No, I can take fashion sense as a skill. No, my anime dude is cool as shit. He's wearing some awesome, dope military uniform that he designed himself. Okay. So, skill levels range from +1, you are somewhat acquainted, to +10, master level. If the desired skill is 5 or less, you must spend 1 point per level. For example, it costs 5 points for a skill of +5, or 3 for a skill of 3. If the level is greater than 5, it will cost 2 points for each level above 5. So, for instance, a skill of +8 would cost 5 points in the first 5 levels, then 6 more, 3 times 2, to get to 8. If a skill is hard to learn, signified by an H next to its title, it may not be purchased at a level greater than 5 by a starting character. To raise a hard skill higher than this, you get to take a professional to stop. You either get to be 16 at the start, or 16 to 18, or an adult, and you can take like careers and stuff like that. But if you take certain dangerous careers, you might be. I think you can die. I think this is a game where you can die in character creation. You can definitely maim yourself. Okay. So, first things first, pilot mecha or whatever the heck. I definitely need that. Oh, there's so many mecha combat. Okay, let's see. Reflex skills, mecha. And I have heard other people say that the biggest flaw of this system is reflexes as a god stat. Because every mecha combat thing is reflexes. And I saw someone posit something interesting. I know I took a screen grab of it. Let me see if I can see it. Someone said, when I played in a Starblade Battalion campaign, that's one of the campaign settings, run by one of the designers of the game. So, if this person is telling the truth, this comes from one of the designers of the game, this hack. One of his fixes was to split reflexes into agility, body awareness and balance, and precision, hand-eye coordination, and aiming. Agility was used for dodging and piloting, while precision was used for shooting and fine work. It let you create sharpshooters who were klutzes and ballerinas who had a hard time aiming. It also doubled the cost of reflex dumping. So if you want to be good at reflex and that's it, that's harder now. So I think that it is interesting. I'm not going to mess with that right now. I saw someone else suggest that tech ability could be used for some of these skills instead, which I think would be interesting. That's how Amuro starts. Amuro reads the manual. That's how he knows how to pilot the Gundam. He just read the instruction booklet. So, okay, let me going to do these stats real fast, and then I'm probably going to log off. So, or skills. So, let's see. Skills. Mecha fighting is hand-to-hand combat. Meh. Mecha gunnery. I don't know what IP means. Level. Right. I don't know what IP means. Level 3. Alright, what did I say? I had 28. 28 minus 3. Mecha melee. 2. Mecha missiles. 2. Mecha piloting. 5. So minus 9. 16. So let's see. Play musical instrument, since that was in my backstory. 1. Let's say I'm not great at it. Leadership. Now, leadership is a... You can do leadership with cool, right? Yeah. Blade. 1. Awareness. 5. I got 4 points left. Oh, streetwise. I think that's important for my character to have since they grew up on the street. 3, so I got 1 point left in something. Let's go. Let me make sure I did that right. 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 5 plus 1 plus 5 plus 1 plus 5 plus 3 plus 1. Enter. Yep. Okay. And then real fast. I don't think... I'm trying to remember. Char's not that old at the beginning of Mobile Suit Gundam. He's older than Amuro, but I think he's like 18 or something. He's not that... He's like an adult in like Char's counterattack, but he's not like old or anything. So I think I'm gonna... You can do one of two things. You can be a professional where you get a crap ton of extra skills, but you don't level up very fast. Or you can be a rookie where you pick a template for your anime-ness and you level up a lot faster. So, anime hero is for sure what this person is. So, first things first, equipment bonus. Equipment, they get a wardrobe of hip-hop clothing. I don't really know what that means. I'm gonna get nice clothes. Motorcycle. Sword. Pilot suit. Okay. I'll fill out some of this stuff later. It's not that important right now. So I get +1 to mecha piloting. Score. +1 to 2 mecha weapon skills. So 4 and 3. Blade +1. So that's a 2. Wardrobe and style 1. And motorcycle and stealth, both 1s. Okay, and I start with an extra 300 credits, but I do not see where my creds are. Profession template, anime hero, age 18. Yeah. Oh well, I'll figure it out later. Okay. And then the other tropes I mentioned: anime hero, girlfriend, boyfriend, anime babe, anime stud, big lug, the kid, or the celebrity. And I think if I was creating my own character, I'd probably do the big lug. He'd very much be Hunk from Voltron. And he gets a Jeep. I think that's funny. Okay. Oh, and it lists examples. Oh, I thought... No, that's it. Okay. And then if you pick the professional, you get to pick from this long list of jobs you've had. And I think you can pick them more than once. You get to pick one for every 2 years you've lived. I think you can be up to 40. Something like that. And you earn money. Up to 30. For every 2 full years of age past 16 that your character has lived, up to a maximum of 30. You can pick one additional profession that your character pursued. Yeah, and if you pick a dangerous life path, they have an appendix to the life path. Yeah, and you can permanently maim yourself and stuff like that. But yeah. Okay. So that's kind of character creation and some basic stuff I was thinking about Mekton Zeta. There's the masked ace in all of his glory. So yeah, that's about it. I'll be back Wednesday if you're watching this anytime soon for Star Chasers, our Spelljammer game with lots of cool people. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and a comment and tell us maybe if you want to watch some people play Mekton Zeta. Yeah. Have a good night. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong mouse cursor. There we go. Have a good night, everybody. Bye. See, here's the problem now. I can't see to put the outro screen out. This is a good look.